Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Here for another daily Python challenge, and let's just go ahead and jump right into it here. So we are going to Dropbox. Got to get to my prompt. So we'll open the prompt. We're just going to use the same prompt that we used last video. Still just focusing on generating some beginner challenges. And let's go to ChatGPT. We'll do temporary chat, and let's see what it gives us this time. So it looks like we're going to write a program to help a zookeeper keep track of animal counts. Zookeeper has a list of animals and the number of each animal currently in the zoo. So our task is to prompt the user to enter an animal's name. If the animal exists in the list, display how many of that animal are in the zoo. And if the animal does not exist, then we want to add it to the list with the count of 1 and notify the user. So examples of this. Example 1, current animals, enters tiger, and then it returns how many tigers are in that zoo. So interesting. So, one thing I just want to point out here is that it says there's a list of animals. This is technically not a list. I don't know if that necessarily matters, but just to point that out. So in this case, we're going to add zebra. There are no zebras, so we're just going to add it to the dictionary at the end here. I struggle personally with dictionaries quite a lot from time to time. It's a data structure that I think is really valuable. And I think is really good to learn, and it's something that I'm always still working on. So I think this will be a pretty simple challenge, but the syntax of dictionaries kind of throws me off sometimes. So I think it'll be good to work on. So let's clear this. Last time we did the daily expense. This time we will do zookeeper. Actually, let's just call it animal tracker, something like that. We'll go in and then we'll open VS Code. Like last time, we'll create a challenge.text and we'll split that over, and then we'll create our main.py. And I probably should have waited actually to split all this, but that's okay. Close that. Okay. So now we've got it set up. We're ready to go. If you want to try this on your own, then I recommend pausing the video now and giving this a shot, and then maybe coming back at the end. I'm going to switch this over to my global instead of a virtual environment here. So you could do that, and then maybe at the end, feel free to share where your solution was in the comments below, or point out any flaws or mistakes I make in my approach. So let's get started. We will start like we did previously with our if name equals main block. Doesn't look like it gives us any kind of function name that we specifically need. So I think maybe I think I'm going to make a constant, and we're just going to call it current animals. And I think, maybe we'll copy some of these in here. So we've got that. And we need to get the user input here. So we'll do input, enter an animal name. All right. And then we will look to see if that animal name is in the dictionary. So I think we have a couple different ways we could do this. I think I want to do like a try except in this scenario. So, and actually before we even do the username part, let's just do user input equals tiger. We're just going to manually do this first, and then we'll do the user input second. So I think I would like to do a try and accept type of approach to this is my initial thought. So we're going to try to get current animals user input. If it's in there, then print, maybe print, is it value? It might be print value, except we're just going to do a really generic as E here. All right, let's see. Okay, so that did nothing for us. Actually, I don't think we need the value piece. It should actually just bring back the value on its own if it's there. Okay. So that's good. But if it's not there, so zebra, for example, then it's just going to pass. Let's print error here because we know that, it throws an exception. I think it's a value error specifically that we're after here, which is probably much better. Key error, sorry. Key error. Okay, so we want to be explicit about the errors we're trying to catch when we can. So let's do that. If there is an error, then I think what we want to do is current animals. And now I'm realizing making this a constant was probably a poor choice because we're going to update it. And I don't think you want a constant to be updated. So I think we're going to, we're just going to label this current animals. And let's actually put it in this block down here. Yeah, let's do that this time. Okay, so current animal dot update. I'm thinking dot update, but I can't recall. User input. What am I thinking here? What am I thinking? I don't think this is gonna work. So I think dot update. So we would do current animal, and then we would do it as a count of 1. And to make sure or validate that this is working, we're gonna print out current animals afterwards. All right, so let's do that. We have an indent issue here, so let's fix that real quick. Okay, so we did it correctly, where current animals, we use the user input, which should hopefully be a key, to then add it to the dictionary and set the default value to 1. I think update would have been good if the key already exists and we're trying to update it. So I don't think we want to use it in this case. So let's try it with user input, and let's add a little bit more context here. So, and we're gonna from typing import dict, and we're gonna hope that we did this type hint correctly this time. I know in the last video we did not. And then this is a string, right? And we're going to try this, okay? And if that works, then we're going to print, and we're probably going to do an F string here. So there are 3 tigers in the zoo. There are, and we do user input. Actually, let's do it like this. User input, that'll give us the 3. And then we will do user input in the zoo. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to then add it, and then we'll print and then we'll print this. added to the zoo with a count of 1. We don't need to put the count dynamically in this because I believe the instruction said to just put it as 1 anyway. So I think that should be fine. So let's give this a shot. All right, so what did we do wrong here? Okay, so we're doing the dictionary type hinting incorrectly still. So let's do this. Typing Python. Let's take a peek. So lowercase string. Is that the issue? Is that I'm doing an uppercase and I really should be doing a lowercase? Okay. That's what it looks like. So does that mean I can just get rid of this entirely and do this? It would appear so. Okay. So we will do zebra. 1 added to the zoo with the count of 1. Yeah, that makes sense. Since we're using the user input to access the dictionary, it would give us the value and not the actual user input value. So that makes sense why we got that error. So let's try this again. Zebra. Zebra was added to the zoo with a count of 1. Okay. One thing I'm noticing is they're doing a lowercase zebra and we're doing a uppercase zebra here. So I think to do that, we do capitalize. And now if we do zebra, it is a capitalized zebra was added to the zoo with a count of 1. So we effectively tried to do this print. We got a key error because zebra is missing from this dictionary. We then caught the error and then made a correction to the program, which is good. I think that's what we want to do. So let us try again, and we will do tiger. There are 3 tiger in the zoo. So I think we'll do, even though it's not on here, I think we will do dot capitalize on this as well. And we're going to just add an S to the end. For consistency's sake, so there are 3 tigers capitalized in the zoo. So I think that gives us everything we want. We're going to assume the initial list is predefined. Animals should be treated as case insensitive. And the program should be beginner friendly. Yeah. Okay. Now, speaking of this, what do we got here? Okay. Speaking of the case and sensitivity part, these are all lowercase, and the way that we have done this currently basically means that if we do tiger, will it work? Oh, it does work. Okay. I was thinking it wouldn't work, but I guess it's not bothered by that. Okay. Maybe dictionaries are not case sensitive? Question? Let's look. Case sensitivity in dictionaries. So it looks like they are case sensitive. So I wonder why this works like that. Because I would have thought we would get a key error. Oh, wait. We did get a key error. I'm looking at it incorrectly. Okay, so we did get a key error because we captured it and we added tiger to the zoo. So actually, we definitely got a key error on that. Okay. Sorry, I'm confusing myself here. And we don't want to throw an error and add another tiger in this case. So I think what we'll do is we'll do a lower on this. That way, when we rerun this and we do a capital tiger, we get that there are 3 tigers in the zoo instead of this. So that's good. The only other piece of kind of error handling that I'm thinking about for this at the moment is, what if the user puts in a number? You know, what if they accidentally throw in a number? There are 23 added to the zoo. Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? So while false, and we will do, maybe while true is better. Maybe while true is more clear. We're going to do a while loop on this. If is instance user input star, or not star, string. So if it's not, then I don't think continue is the right wording here. Actually, I think what we want to do is the other way around. So if it is a string, then we're going to break the pattern. So what we've got is 2. Oof, that did not work like I thought it would. So if, oh, I guess it's always going to be, yeah, I think an input's always going to return a string in this case. So this isn't going to prevent alphanumerical entries. So how would we do that? I don't know. I'll leave that to you to think about. Think about the scenario of a user putting in a number here when it's not meant to be used for numbers. How do we capture that as an error and throw it back to the user to continue the loop so that they have to make sure that they enter an animal name again, or at least some type of string? So yeah, because I think as it is right now, if we do print type user input, okay, and we do Python main.py here, it brings it back as a string. But obviously 23 is something that, you know, it can be a string, but we typically think of it more as a number. So how would we handle that? And I think maybe, I guess one way I'm thinking about this is if you try to convert it. So if you do this, not a number, I'm thinking maybe something like this would be able to capture it, just because that would work, right? And then this, this would say not a number, right? So we would try, okay, so I think that is doable. So I think we can do while true. If this is able to be converted to an int, then we're going to kind of continue. Otherwise, we'll actually break out of the program. Is that what I'm thinking here? Yeah, it looks like we can do that. So I think what we would want to do is say, please enter a valid animal name. This kind of makes it seem like we're testing against all animals to make sure that they're a valid name, but you know, maybe better to say numbers are not valid or something like that. Please try again. But this at least allows us to catch this integer and kind of throw it back and say, hey, try again in this while loop over and over. So effectively, we've kind of caught that error, which is cool. There may be a better way to do this, though. If you could think of a better way to do this, or a different approach, I would love to hear it in the comments below. But effectively, I think that solves what we're trying to do in this one. Let's take a look at the solution that ChatGPT has for us. So ChatGPT, here's the dictionary, current animals. I did not display the current animals. That is something. Yeah, that is something I did not do. So that's something to maybe consider. So it does input strip dot lower. The lower we got, the strip I did not think about, but I think the strip is a good plan. That would remove white spaces, leading and trailing white spaces, in case you put a space and then zebra and then a space, because that wouldn't show up in the dictionary and it would get added. So I could see that as being an issue. If user in animals, this is effectively similar to like a try and accept. I just wanted to try and utilize more try and accept instead of if else statements here. But if it's in there, if it exists, the print statement. If it doesn't exist, then they're using the dictionary to add it with the capitalized like we did, and then printing updated animals. Okay. Cool. So I think we got most of it done. Like I said, if you have another solution or you approach it a little bit differently, feel free to leave it in the comments below. And of course, this will be on the GitHub repo if you want to look at the challenge and review the code that I upload there. And then, of course, if you have any other challenges or anything that you think would be really beneficial to work through, feel free to post those as well in the comments. And maybe at some point we'll do like a wheel or something like that to pick a random challenge out of the comments from the users and do that as well in a video. So I hope this was helpful. Thanks for being here. If you did enjoy this, feel free to leave a like or comment and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.